There were 1,618 second graders who completed Birmingham City Schools last year. And they ended the year with 749 of them reading below grade level. If you do the math on that from a percentage standpoint, I believe that's about, 45, 46%. Roughly almost half of our second graders, there are only 3 categories, right? For this Literacy Act, our children either read above grade level, at grade level, or below grade level. And I'm telling you, those who have just entered pre-assessment, when they finish second grade, almost half read below grade level. Pre-assessments are currently happening at each elementary school. Galvin and I, along with Marquise, have been visiting elementary schools, talking to principals, talking to the reading specialists at each school, and they have afforded us the opportunity to just peek our head in these third grade classrooms. What I can tell you with full confidence is there is not one 7-year-old or 8-year-old that doesn't want to learn. They're eager to learn. I don't think we have a child problem. I do think we have an adult problem. I want to explain what I mean by an adult problem. I think it would be very, very easy for us to point the fingers at teachers and say they are the only adults responsible. And it would probably be easier to point the fingers at parents and say, no, you are responsible. But I don't think any of us can afford to, just a few months before this test is taken in April, and everything starts. None of us can afford to point the finger at another adult group. As I stated last night at this rally at the Crossplex, where parents were there, administrators, teachers were there, children were there, as well as nonprofits and organizations who support this work. If there was ever an opportunity for this concept of it takes a village, this is it, and this is the moment. And yes, where our current third graders are now is a downstream problem which requires a sense of urgency, and it's an emergency crisis situation. Not the kitchen, but the house is on fire. But if we don't do something now also for the second graders and the first graders and the kindergartners and the pre-K children, we will find ourselves having this conversation every single year. So we must do something upstream as well. That being said, as I've stated, and I think I'll talk about this, Madam President and Council, so be a little bit more patient with me. Every Tuesday I will talk about this issue because the public needs to know. We need to embrace this full on. Every adult in this community, I do not care what your status is. Parent, non-parent, teacher, non-teacher, elected official, non-elected official. Every adult in this community needs to take this issue on. And let's acknowledge some hard truths. Here's one. We have parents who are uneducated. Here's a second one. We have parents who work 2 jobs and don't even have time to teach and or engage their child relates to reading. Here's a third one that's really, really hard that I struggle with. We have a lot of parents who believe when school starts, you are responsible for my child's education, you being the educator, teacher, school system, and they're out. They get to wash their hands. We don't like to say that out loud, but there, I said it for you, because we know that exists in our community, and that is deeply ingrained in Birmingham's culture. And so instead of me trying to fight that mindset, which is an uphill battle, what I want to embrace is accept our parents where they are and meet them where they are. And we have some tools that I believe can offset that mindset, which is this. Every single elementary school right now offers after school for free. That's a capital F, a capital R, a capital E, and a capital E. Free. 3 to 5 p.m. If you believe the system and those adults, teachers and administrators are responsible for your child's education, please let them stay after school every day, Monday through Friday. Let them attend Saturday school. And let's make sure we get every third grader who's reading below level up to a minimum where they need to be so they can actually pass the third grade. Because as I've stated more than once, if they are behind, they will fail. We know it is flunk, repeat, whatever synonym you want to use. And I deem 749 third graders having to repeat the third grade unacceptable. There's not enough classroom space. There's not enough third grade teachers. And yes, it doesn't matter what the state has done or that the state spends billions on prisons, but not on reading initiatives. We locally have a job to do. And I just want the council to fully embrace this. We want to build a minimum army of 749 adults who will give at least 2 hours of their time a week. I am mandating that my appointed staff participate in that. So I hope your staff, and I hope any adults that's listening to me in this community will be a part of this volunteer army as we take this issue on. There are many issues in this community, but I am literally putting this one first in line for all of us to address. Own it, engage it every single day, and don't let up until we know our children can read at a minimum at grade level. I appreciate your opportunity giving me this platform to share this, and that concludes the mayor's report.